The world is filled with so many curious spectacles that it's impossible to witness them all in one's lifetime. Different cultures and different ways of thinking, us humans have created a world which is so incredibly fascinating and so bizarre that it's a shame that most of us will unfortunately miss out. Don't worry though, we're here to fix that problem. Today we're going over 12 things that you'll see for the first time in your life and will make you wonder what crazy world we live in. Before we get started, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe and click the notification bell for more such amazing content. Number 12. Absurd manicure. French, gradient, matte, metallic, cat eye, those are all apparently modern types of manicure many girls know about. It's quite hard to surprise them with new designs, especially in Russia, where this industry is very well developed. But one chain of salons with branches in Moscow, St. Petersburg, Kazan and Los Angeles really unleashed their creativity. The studio's Instagram already has over 2 million followers, but they don't stop there. They welcome the hype. For example, how would you like this? Live ants running inside of a long nail. It's not just the questionable aesthetics. Many users accuse the owners of the salon of animal cruelty, even though they said that no ants were injured while creating the manicure. However, the followers are used to such shock content. The salon had repeatedly posted some pretty insane designs. Nails in the form of plastic cutlery that you can actually use. Nails made of shrimp heads. Nails in the form of earpods. Tree branches. Perfume bottles. Pretty absurd indeed. Number 11. Drone jump. Amazon promises that very soon small parcels will be delivered to the client using drones, which means you can forget about couriers running late traffic jams or having to deal with other people when receiving an order. Advances in technology open up even more daring possibilities for us. For example, the Latvian company Aerones produces drones which can carry cargo weighing up to 220 pounds. So perhaps in a couple of years, not only books and clothes, but also furniture will be delivered to your home via unmanned drones. The company also plans to use the drone with 28 propellers for sport, for example to deliver snowboarders to the landing site. The creators have even demonstrated in this video how exactly they're going to do that. Here you can see how a person flies for several seconds in an altitude of almost 1,000 feet above the ground and later jumps with a parachute directly from the drone. Technology just keeps getting crazier and crazier. Number 10. Superhero flight. Remember the movie Spy Kids? Every child who saw it probably dreamed of having a jetpack like the main characters. We often see this device in science fiction films too, but perhaps you didn't know it has long existed in real life. Meet the Swiss pilot Yves Rossi. He was the first inventor in the world to develop a jetpack for personal use. With its help, this superhero has already flown over the English Channel and crossed the Alps, and also made a flight around Mount Fujiyama in Japan. In this video, he sets another incredible record together with his assistant Vince Reffert. Since they flew over the desert and then over the fantastic urban jungle of Dubai, a huge Airbus A380 was flying right next to them. They reach an altitude of more than 0.6 miles. You better believe it, this isn't CGI. Number 9. Ice wheels. There are so many types of wheels for cars today. Some are printed on a 3D printer. Some have a memory effect. Some have moss on discs. And some people even turn them into huge rubber balls. But these wheels seem to be the most impractical of all. Yes, the Japanese company Lexus really created ice tires for one of their crossovers. But don't think that they simply poured water into a special container, froze it and put it in the right spot. It's much more complicated than that. After all, the car had to drive safely as well. So at first the wheels were scanned with a laser and later experts began to develop a mock-up. The result is spectacular wheels with acrylic elements and LED bulbs. Though to use them, the crossover first had to be cooled to -22 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 days. Nevertheless, the car performed well and later even drove through the streets of London in winter. Number 8. Natural shampoo. They say that nature already has everything for a person to have a comfortable life, even things we used to consider the inventions of modern civilization. Take for example miswak, a toothbrush which hundreds of years ago the inhabitants of the Arab and Asian countries made from the arak tree. Today this miracle of nature found its way into the life of modern people, especially vegetarians and raw foodists. Many people say that such a tool is just much more effective than any electronic brushes and whitening toothpaste, and this is the Zingiber zerumbet, a plant which grows in the tropical forests of Asia But it's very different from ordinary ginger, which is usually added to the dishes of Oriental cuisine. The aromatic liquid in the inflorescence of this plant has been used by inhabitants of Polynesia as a shampoo for centuries. What we can say for sure is that this contains no parabens or sulfates, but only natural ingredients. Sounds like a good deal. Number 7. Luxurious life. Even sea lions ride a yacht and you don't. That's the kind of comment one might leave under this video. Yeah, your eyes aren't deceiving you. This footage was captured in a bay near Olympia, Washington. How exactly the animals ended up there is unknown. Perhaps no one else was in there except the captain of the ship, and he's now sitting in horror in the bridge while these two animals enjoy the view. Unfortunately, they managed to sink this little yacht with their sheer weight. Look at those massive sea lions. Number 6. Smart birds. Do you know how smart some birds are? Take crows, for example. Scientists have long concluded that these creatures can easily recognize people's faces, so don't make them angry, otherwise next time you'll have to deal with a whole flock of them. Here's one experiment that clearly illustrates the analytical capability of crows. There's a flask of water standing in front of the bird and several small stones next to it, but there's one detail. There's a treat floating on the surface of the water which the crow can't reach with its beak. After throwing a couple of weights into the flask, the bird quickly realizes that the water level rises, so it keeps repeating the action over and over again until it can reach the treat with its beak. In a sophisticated version of this experiment, the bird has to choose from several weights of different sizes. The crow ignores the small ones and uses only the largest pieces to achieve a faster result. What a brilliant bird, and also proving Aesop's age-old fable about the crow in the picture right. Number 5. Resourceful movie fans. What if you really want to watch a movie at the cinema with a friend but you don't have the money for 2 tickets? Well, there are not many things you could do, and they're all most likely illegal. These two guys from California really wanted to see Black Panther, so they decided to pretend to be one very tall man. The cashier, unfortunately, was not fooled by this. We hope that someone from the crowd gave these two a ticket. They truly deserved it. Number 4. Stroller walk. This is the main dilemma of our entire life. When you're small, you want to become an adult as soon as possible, and soon after you start an independent life, you dream of going back to kindergarten and having a nap after lunch. Well, you can actually do that at least for a couple of minutes in the United States. A stroller company, Colcraft, has decided to release adult versions of its products so that parents can fully appreciate the comfort of the stroller before making a purchase. But let's be honest, workaholics without kids will certainly want to buy a couple of these, and we totally sympathize with them. Number 3. Scary sculpture. They say that the incredibly high temperatures in arid zones often create mirages, optical illusions reflected in the sky. Perhaps this silhouette of a child in the Chinese Gobi Desert might look like a mirage. It's 49 feet long and 13 feet tall. As you might have guessed, it's actually a sculpture that was installed here as a symbol of nature that needs our protection. What a sight to stumble upon in the vastness of the Gobi Desert. Number 2. Smoke bubbles. Along with the other videos where people cut soap, destroy figures from kinetic sand and do calligraphy, the sight of a bursting smoke bubble is extremely satisfying for some reason. Just look at how cool it is. How are such bubbles made though? It's actually no different from how you make the usual ones. You should simply use smoke instead of air. It can come from your lungs or a special device if you don't want to breathe in the smoke. Many people run experiments just for fun, but some go one step further and create some real works of art, like this girl. In her videos, she combines different techniques of working with soap bubbles, and at first glance it looks like computer graphics, but it's actually just skill and not deception. You can even put an object inside the bubbles. By the way, smoke bubbles are often used to decorate cocktails. Only in that case we're not talking about soap bubbles, but about natural liquids with different flavors. That way, when the bubble bursts, the drink is served not only with an impressive smoke, but also a pleasant smell. Number 1. Hardcore flash mob. One of the most unpleasant feelings on earth is when some speck of dust gets into your eye, and no matter what you do, you just can't remove it. Only water stuck in your ear after active diving could possibly be worse than that. But in the vastness of the internet, there is a place for any madness. A few years ago, for example, there was a flash mob on Instagram in which a whole crowd of enthusiasts shoved all kinds of stuff into their eyes, from paper clips to sparkles and cotton swabs. How does that make you feel? Let's be honest, some of the pictures do look pretty, but most of them make you shudder rather than experience aesthetic ecstasy. We hope that no one was hurt during these crazy experiments. After all, it's not that difficult to damage your eyesight doing these kinds of things. How was that for a list of crazy things to witness from all over the world? We bet some of them took you by surprise. Let us know in the comments which was the most surprising of them all. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more, be sure to smash the like button, share and subscribe for more. Goodbye.